Eddie Hearn looks set to cancel the Wembley event on April 13th, where Anthony Joshua was set to defend his world titles in his big next heavyweight showdown. But since there is no Deontay Wilder fight, he can't seem to stomach the challenge, and Tyson Fury is chasing Wilder, and now Dillian Whyte is extremely unhappy with an offer that Eddie Hearn had made to him and his team, and the proposed deal to face Joshua, and instead is looking to face Dominic Breazeale. Things aren't looking good for Joshua's next opponent. He needs to find an opponent fast because he must soon begin training for the fight. And while he can start training, he cannot train for a specific and certain skill set his opponent may bring to the table because he hasn't got an opponent yet. So what's going to happen? Well, considering his three main targets are now out of the running, there are in fact a few left. There are Alexander Usyk, which I wouldn't say it would be Usyk. I would say that Usyk would have probably a warm-up fight before going in with Joshua and challenging for the unified world heavyweight titles. Possibly, and more likely than Usyk, it could be Luis Ortiz. That is possibly, but what seems most likely to me at the moment is Jarrell Big Baby Miller. But that fight won't take place in the UK. It was most likely to take place in the US, and that would mean cancelling the April 13th date or giving it to another fighter. Joshua Miller is a good fight for the US because that is a great way for Joshua to break on the American market, and makes sense for them to do it in the US just to let Deontay Wilder know that Anthony Joshua is coming overseas to conquer the division. And once he breaks into the American market and starts to gather American fans, then Deontay Wilder must be goaded into taking the fight with Joshua if he is still champion at that point. So, with Eddie Hearn failing to secure a matchup for Joshua on his proposed Wembley date, it looks highly possible that he will head stateside for his next fight, as opposed to remaining in the UK. I guess the only other opponent he could face is Joe Joyce. Seems unlikely and too soon for Joyce, considering how many fights he has had, but the thing is, Joshua looks set to face, or attempt to face, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte and Jarrell Miller in the next 2 years. The clock is ticking for Joe Joyce, who is getting older, obviously, and he was being fast-tracked anyway, and given his maturity before turning over to the pro ranks, so it may be 2 or more years before he gets his shot, at least, and by that time he will be 35 or 36. By that point, so time isn't on his side. Of course, he is not going to age all that badly, because he hasn't been in any wars or hasn't had sustained damage. But still, he must move fast to secure a meaningful fight to challenge for a world title or a great opponent. But, as I said, the clock is ticking for Joe Joyce. So, considering this, there are a few opponents that Anthony Joshua can still face on April 13th at Wembley, but I think it is likely that date will be cancelled now, and Anthony Joshua will head over stateside to face Big Baby, Jarrell Miller, and make a statement in the US, and call out Deontay Wilder after that fight. But anyway guys, what do you think? Should they cancel April 13th and head over to the US? Or should they stay in the UK and fight Joe Joyce, Alexander Usyk, or Luis Ortiz, or maybe someone else? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. Please like the video and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys.